The Jacobs Ladder Show is the online radio show keeping you in the loop on the real Las Vegas entrepreneurs, business professionals, artists, actors, creators, entertainers, foreign embassy consuls, and personalities. Join us on the Jacobs Ladder Show with Carolyn and Stephen Jacobs, and listen in on the discussions with these Las Vegas leaders on personal stories and topics like exploits, ventures, anecdotes, career changes, and successes. Now, here's Carolyn and Stephen Jacobs.
Hello, this is Carolyn Jacobs with the Jacobs Ladder Show. We're here live every Tuesday from noon until 2 p.m., and we actually host one guest per hour, and we interview people on their ladders of success. We interview entrepreneurs as well as business owners and special event things. In fact, we have a special event thing coming tonight. But before I introduce her, I'd like to tell you that this segment of our show is brought to you by the Las Vegas Distillery. It's located in Henderson at 7330 Eastgate Road. Their phone number is 702-629-7234. And the Las Vegas Distillery has the distinction of being the very first distillery in the state of Nevada. So way to go, George, and we love your place. And they also give tours and free sampling, so please give them a visit. Now, today's guest is she is the state director for a particular pageant, and this pageant is actually occurring Sunday. And the pageant is Mrs. Nevada America. Not only is this lady a director, she's also the owner and founder of McKenna's Models and Talent Agency, and she is a former winner herself, plus she has Jackie M Cosmetics. So at this point, may I introduce to our listening audience around the world is Jackie McKenna.
Thank you, Carolyn. So sweet of you to have me. I'm so honored. Thank you so much. And I'm sad that we're missing Stephen today. Feel better, Stephen.
That's what I was going to say. Carolyn is flying solo today. So anyway, Stephen will be better by next week. But anyway, thank you, Jackie, for the kind words about Stephen. Now, this Sunday is the Mrs. Nevada America pageant, February the 23rd. Starts at 7 at Samstown.
Right.
And there's tickets still available, correct?
They are available if you go to our website, www.mrsnevadaamerica.com. You can get them online. They'll be waiting for you at the door. Or you can get them at the door, but I think the line may be just a little long. We are so excited about it. It's going to be an amazing experience.
And how many candidates do you have?
We have 16. This is the most that we've had. This is our 6th year as state directors, and these ladies are absolutely incredible. From ages 22 to 54, all walks of life, stay-home moms, entrepreneurs, people who have done some amazing things in their community. So we are sitting here with bated breath, waiting for our new winner to rise to the surface, and she will do that Sunday night.
Well, for our listening audience, if you'd like to, you can check out that website. Also check out Jackie's modeling website, and which is, I have it right here,
McKennaModelsandTalent.com.
Excellent. And because she also is the state director for other pageants for the Miss Nevada Junior High, Miss Nevada High School, Miss Nevada Collegiate America, plus
right.
You have the Nevada Princess and Prince pageants.
Absolutely. We started the Nevada Princess pageant 5 years ago when we felt like it was a perfect fit for these young ladies to come in and mentor under our Mrs. Nevada, basically learn very early in life how to give back. So it was so successful. It grew from 3 representatives to 4. Now we've opened it up to babies through 4 in girls and boys. And again, it's never too early to teach your children how to have poise and confidence and learn how to be effective members of their community. And again, give back. That's what it's all about.
And it also helps prepare them for life.
It does. In interviews for jobs, in school, how to speak in front of their classmates. Basically, that self-esteem, which you know how I feel about that, it's the building block. And these kids are just amazing. You'd be so impressed to meet any one of them. They're just amazing kids.
Oh, my gosh. Well, this is so great, Jackie. Well, thank you for it. We just did a basic overview of Jackie's event that's going to be occurring on Sunday night. And am I allowed to say what Stephen and I are going to we're going to be participating?
Certainly. Absolutely. All up front. We even announced who the judges are this year for the first time.
Oh, I was going to say, yes, and I've got that list. We were going to talk about that. And Stephen and I have the honor of we're going to be the tabulators for the show. So we are really excited to be participating. And thank you, Jackie, for inviting us.
Oh, thank you for coming. I'll be so thrilled to have you there. See your smiling face out in the audience.
Thank you very much. Now, let's start where we normally start with our show, which is the very beginning, because people want to know the story behind the beautiful woman that's here in the radio studio. And that is, where were you born?
Well, I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a Midwest girl, born and raised. I didn't move out of St. Louis until I was 18. And then I had a brief modeling career in my young years, actually started at the age of 12. I was married to a young man right out of high school, had two beautiful children, Gina and Sam, who are just amazing kids, and they are all grown up now, and they live in California. From there, that marriage ended after 7 years, and I met a man when I was employed by the St. Louis Playboy Club. I was a bunny. Again, more information. I told you we need more than an hour. We could do an hour on that alone. So I was a bunny at the St. Louis Playboy Club, and I met my next, I don't want to say I have like 10 of them, but I had an opportunity to meet Buddy. His name is Buddy Greco. He is still a jazz pianist and a performer. He's living in England now in his elder years. But from there, we moved out to California. I married Buddy, had a young son, beautiful baby, Jean-Paul, who has recently gotten married. So everybody grows up around me. So at that point, I was interested in competing in pageants myself. So I entered the Mrs. California America pageant and tried 2 times. From there, I said, all right, these women who are winning are 22 years old. Something's wrong. And I was 42. Well, we owned had dual residency, of course, working in Las Vegas so much. And I heard that they were far more open-minded about their women of substance. So I did come into the state of Nevada. We had our condo here. I participated in the pageant the first year and won Mrs. Nevada. So that was 1990.
Congratulations. That is wonderful.
It was very exciting, and it opened the doors to where I am now and what I've done. And it's just been just a skyrocket ride. It really has.
Now, how did you get from participating in the pageant to actually becoming a state director?
Well, like I said, in 1990, as being Mrs. Nevada America, I went to Russia, and they had the Mrs. America and Mrs. USSR pageant on the same stage, all part of the whole perestroika movement of bringing the countries together. So I had an experience to be able to really get to know the national directors. So when the opportunity arose that they needed a state director for Nevada, I was blessed that they called me and asked me to lead that role. So that's how I got the role of Mrs. Nevada America director.
Oh, my God.
And my husband now, who is my third and final, I might add, John McKenna, love you, baby. We are co-directors. So he likes to call himself the executive director because he sits behind the scenes and does all of the techie stuff and the program book and rules the roost in the showroom. But I'm kind of the gal behind the scenes.
Well, no, you are definitely the gal in front of the scenes because you have a beautiful voice, you have a beautiful face and presence, and you are great role models for all the candidates and especially for all the ages. But I'm going to backtrack here a little bit because you kind of glossed over a little bit about being in California because when you moved to California, you signed up as a model with the Cunningham agency. Right. So what happened then?
Well, it was kind of a stretch because and I know you've interviewed probably a lot of entertainers, and they do, bless their hearts, tend to be just a bit ego-driven. So I was, really stretching it to be able to say, do you mind? And that was before I kind of knew my own heart and mind.
Yes.
So I said, do you mind if I try modeling out here? And he said, well, no, as long as you're available to go with me when we need to go to Europe and Australia and everything like that. So I did, and it wasn't even 2 weeks later that I was offered the cover of Beverly Hills magazine. So that kind of catapulted me into a position in California, to launch a modeling career for women 40 and over.
I love that. You know what? Women are just nurturing anyway, and you try to facilitate a relationship and the marriage, and you know which battles to fight for and which ones not to. But so basically, are you saying that modeling kind of brought you into your own?
I don't know whether it's modeling or just sort of searching deep within my soul to know what I felt was right. And of course, as a couple in any relationship, you have to communicate and talk about your hopes and dreams, and then you compromise. But I knew that it was what I needed to do to sort of not separate myself from the marriage, but to still hold on to my own identity. And I think it was just that power and that strength within me that said, this is what I need to do. I did sing backup with my sister in my husband's show, and that was fine, but he'd always keep the microphones turned down, and as long as the spotlight was, on him as the star of the show, and rightfully so, that's how my life kind of was. I was the trophy wife, honestly.
Wait a minute, you're a singer?
Well, I enjoy singing. Ask my husband, he'll tell you. He and I sang together as well.
Oh, my goodness. So you and your sister were singing backup to Buddy?
Right.
Oh, so
we backed, Buddy Rich, but Rich Little. I get them confused. Joan Rivers. We've been on the strip in big hotels before I even knew that I would ultimately be, a resident of Nevada. It's pretty interesting.
Now, so you actually were singing back in St. Louis before you even came out here?
Yes.
So how did you start singing?
Well, I sang in high school, of course. That's where I think everybody starts, or at least in their bedroom with their little hairbrush microphone. And then the story kind of jumps to my husband, John, who always encouraged me to sing. He said, honey, you've got a beautiful voice. You ought to sing more. And I'm like, that was then, this is now. Well, we bought a karaoke machine, and I practiced at home until I had the confidence to sing on my own. So once I sang on my own, I felt confident to then go on stage in little restaurants, five-star restaurants in St. Louis, where John and I would do just evenings. People waiting for their dinner reservations, they'd come in and hear us sing. So that was kind of how that started. I never had aspirations of doing it as a career. I've seen the backside of that.
Yes.
And I think that's a really, really tough life. And again, it's something I enjoy, but it's not something I feel like I need as a career.
Wow, this is really great. I'd like to talk a little bit more about this, but actually, this would be a good time to hear a word from our sponsors. What I'd like to do is remind people that if you go to www.JacobsLadderShow.com, you page down to listen to all the other interviews we've had. We've got the last 6 months on that. I also have started putting our interviews on YouTube, so you'll have that available. And this interview will be available in a few days on our archive page. So this is Carolyn Jacobs with the Jacobs Ladder Show.
Let me introduce you to the Las Vegas Distillery. It is the first artesian craft distillery in the history of Nevada. They manufacture in the traditional way from grain to bottle. Their handcrafted spirits include vodka, gin, rum, whiskey, bourbon, moonshine, and the house specialty created in Las Vegas called the Rumski, a blend of rum and whiskey. The Las Vegas Distillery uses grains grown in Nevada by Winnemucca Farms. They distill in small batches and are an open distillery. Come and take a tour Monday through Saturday at 7330 Eastgate Road, Suite number 100 in Henderson. You can go to their website, www.lasvegasdistillery.com. Support our local businesses. Remember the Las Vegas Distillery for your events, office, and private parties. Think local, drink local. The Las Vegas Distillery.
Raiding the Rock Vault, the ultimate classic rock concert by those who rock it, is back in Las Vegas in the famous showroom at the LVH Hotel and Casino. Raiding the Rock Vault is the story of classic rock, performed by the members of some of the greatest rock bands in rock history with classic songs from the Rolling Stones, The Who, The Doors, The Eagles, Queen, AC/DC, Deep Purple, Journey, and more. Written by Grammy Award-winning producer David Kirschenbaum and producer John Payne. This all-star concert features guitarist Doug Aldrich, guitarist Howard Leese, lead vocals by Robin McCulley, Paul Shortino, and Andrew Freeman, drummer Jay Schilling, and keyboardist Michael T. Ross, with lead vocals and bass guitar by John Payne. This live concert experience starts at 8 p.m. Fridays through Tuesdays in the LVH Hotel Casino showroom. Get your tickets now at thelvh.com or call 800-222-5361 or visit the LVH box office. Remember to like Raiding the Rock Vault on Facebook. See you there. It's all rock and roll, baby.
Welcome back to the Jacobs Ladder Show. This is Carolyn Jacobs, who's host for this hour. And I want to remind everybody about our website, www.JacobsLadderShow.com. And it will list this interview that we're having with Jackie McKenna today. In a couple of days will be listed there. Plus, I'll have, in about a week or two, I'll have a YouTube of this interview as well. So you can direct other people to that as well. The interesting part about our show is the fact that we get to talk to a lot of people and also our different sponsors. Now, this segment of our show is brought to you by Raiding the Rock Vault. They're playing at the LVH, which was formerly known as the Las Vegas Hilton. And if you go there, they usually play Fridays through Tuesdays. So please call their box office, and they have great tickets, and it's a great show. And these are actually 80s rock stars who are actually singing the classics of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So it's a pretty exciting show to go to.
That kind of music.
Oh, it is so fabulous. But anyway, I am speaking with Jackie McKenna, who is the director for the Mrs. Nevada America, which pageant will be this Sunday at 7 o'clock at Sam's Town, so everyone can still get tickets and come to that. She is also the founder and owner of McKenna's Models and talent agent in town. She has a Jackie M cosmetic company, and plus she's a former pageant winner herself. So, Jackie, we were just leaving where you were actually talking about your singing, what you don't consider a career, but I do, because if you're singing back up on stage, that's a career, my dear. And you're singing with your sister?
I did. We were called Visions because we do look quite similar. She's 3 years younger than I am, but we're both blonde and about the same height. So, yeah, and she still sings. I mean, she enjoys it. She lives in Park City, Utah, and sings with the choir and has a jazz group and just really enjoys it. But, you know, it's obviously nothing that I felt like I wanted to do the rest of my life. Fun, but not my career.
Now, what did your parents do?
Well, my mother she worked her whole life. Like I said, I'm one of 8 children, and my dad owned a little delicatessen, a little tiny grocery store, and Mom worked in the store and worked all the time. So, I mean, you know, just blue-collar, middle-of-the-road, middle-class citizens who tried to raise 8 children on the budget.
Wow.
And, Yeah, it was tough. It was very tough growing up.
I totally understand because I actually grew up on the opposite side of the state. I was born in a little town in southern Illinois, real close to the Indiana-Kentucky border.
Oh.
And I'm the oldest of 6, and I grew up on a farm.
Oh, were you Catholic? Are you Catholic?
No. So it was strictly, we just worked hard, and I think farmers actually have a lot of children for the reason of free labor. So,
and that's okay, too. We all had our share of work in the house, that's for sure.
But I learned a great work ethic, and I'm very independent, and us, actually, because that we grew everything ourselves, we were self-sustaining, so I guess we were survivalists before I knew what the term was. But it was a great way. So I totally understand being a family of 8 children. My goodness, your mother had to have been a Wonder Woman.
She was, and bless her heart, she passed away last December, and she just lived to be 89, and she had a hard life. But and interestingly enough, and I want to just throw this in here for a minute, my mom and my blood father divorced when I was 3.
Whoa.
And I went to live with my grandmother, who raised me. It wasn't meant to be that way, but she lived a block and a half away from my mother, and it was just easier on my mom, working as hard as she was, to be, in the care of my grandmother. So I was raised by my grandmother, Hattie Henderson.
Where were you on the number of 1 to 8?
3rd from the top.
Ah.
And then it was just my little sister under me. We were the ones of the first marriage. So it was easier for Grandma to take over for me, and it was supposed to be temporarily while Mom and Dad were going through their struggles and their divorce, but it didn't end up to be that way. I wound up staying until I was 11 years of age when she passed away. Then I moved back home. So I felt a little like the stepchild, if you will.
Now, that's an interesting family dynamic.
It was. It was a blessing. I have to say it was a blessing. I learned so much from my grandparents. Just amazing people, just very giving, community service involved. Just would give anything to anybody. Just hardworking people, but just wonderful. And my grandfather was 22 years older than my grandmother, so I was... I've actually lived now 4 years longer than my grandmother did. She passed away at 62.
Oh, my.
So that was, it was hard. It was very hard. But I have to say it was a blessing that I was raised by them. I was given a certain something, and I don't know what that something is, but it's in my heart.
Oh, that is so great. And that's wonderful because everything has developed you to be the person you are today.
Absolutely.
So I'm very, very impressed. Now, do any of your other siblings have, let's say, a showbiz or singing background, or let's say a talent of what you're doing?
Everybody enjoys music, obviously, in the whole family. Everybody enjoys music. Nobody has aspirations of a career. My youngest son, Jean-Paul, is a wonderful singer, but again, he just enjoys it. He doesn't want to do the travel on the road and the dragging all the kids in the suitcases, living in hotels. It's just not an attractive lifestyle. It really is. It looks glamorous and it sounds great, but it's not a lifestyle that for the faint of heart. It really isn't.
I can understand that. Now, what I'd like to do is ask you how you got into, wait a minute, I'm just looking at my notes here. Let's talk about, I love this line here, that you also did guest appearances on various shows. I'm looking at here, you've worked with industry giants such as Sharon Stone and Antonio Banderas.
I did a commercial with them, a Free Jeanette champagne commercial. And actually, Antonio was not, who he is right now. Sharon Stone was already a diva. Sorry, Sharon, whoever you are, but she was already a diva. As a matter of fact, they stopped the commercial and had me change my gown because she didn't want me to have a gold gown on. She wanted to be the only one with a sparkly gown. So that's my little Sharon Stone story.
Well, isn't that amazing that she doesn't think she could sparkle on her own?
It's all about how you feel about yourself, I'm sure.
You also did guest appearances with Joan Rivers, Rich Little, Merv Griffin, Regis Philbin, Mike Douglas, and Bill Cosme. So tell me about those.
Well, it was obviously during the period of time that I was married to Buddy. I mean, that was our family. You know, we hung out with Barbara and Frank Sinatra and in Palm Springs, had Christmas holidays with them, Sammy Davis and his wife Altaviz. I mean, Jack Jones, Ed McMahon, all of those people were part of our social circle. And oddly enough, after the divorce, it's like, where are they now? You know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I'm sure they're still lovely people, but those were our friends back then, the social people.
Now, did you ever attend Frank Sinatra's golf tournament that he had?
Absolutely.
You know, I probably would have seen you because my husband and I, we lived at Desert Falls Country Club where they would host it, and we went to the events, and so we were at the same event and didn't even know it. So.
Isn't that a small world? Yeah. I mean, Barbara Sinatra was one of my biggest supporters when I was, you know, in the pageant world. So, yeah, they're great people. I have nothing bad to say. I know sometimes Frank Sinatra gets a bad rap, like, oh, he's this and he's that. He was a charmer. Those blue eyes would kill you. He was just wonderful and wonderful to me, and I felt at home when I was in their company.
Oh, that is wonderful. And that's a great story to hear, too, whenever you think about individuals. Sure. And I loved about that you have this motto that was passed on to you by your late grandfather, that the power is within you. You can do and be anything you set your mind to.
Right. He used to tell me that when I was very little. As a matter of fact, I didn't have a clue what he was talking about then. He taught me to read because when, like I said, from the time I was 3, I would sit on his lap and read the letters off of the newspaper where it would say St. Louis Post-Dispatch. That's how I learned my letters and how to read. And he always used to say that. Don't you worry about anything. You've got it in you. The power is within you. You'll find it. It'll come to you. And I thought, what is he talking about? But later on, it started to click, and it really made sense, and I really do believe that. I see it every day in my own life. When people feel confident about themselves and they reach down and they know that there's no goal that they can't reach. I mean, obviously you have to work hard. You can't sit at home eating bonbons and expecting the world to change. But you truly can do whatever you set your mind to do. You just have to do the work and feel good about yourself doing it.
Oh, I love that because the world's not coming to you sitting at your home.
No.
You have to go out and meet it head on.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that. The ladies that I come into contact with every day believe that because that's what the message I send. And you'll see it Sunday night. These women are amazing.
And we are going to talk more about the candidates and the ladies and that in a couple of minutes. We'll go into commercial. But how did you get into the modeling agency from being a state director, or was that just a natural progression?
You mean opening McKenna Models and Talent?
Yes.
Well, throughout the years, I mean, we're talking about from when I was a teenager all the way up, I was always interested. I was as tall when I was 12 as I am now, for goodness sakes. What do you do? And you can relate. You're a tall lady, too. So I was always interested in it, loved fashion. My sister and I would create outfits and things like that and pretend that we were models even when we were little. So working for other companies and other agencies, I kind of learned about the industry, what I liked, what I didn't like. Mm-hmm. And I always said that if I ever had an opportunity to open my own, I would. Well, in St. Louis, that's how I came back here. I've been across the map a few times, if you can figure that out from my story. So when I came out to Las Vegas, it was at my daughter Gina's request. She said, Mom, what are you doing there? Why don't you come out here and open a modeling agency? And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, again, that thing where it's like, oh, I can't do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And we did. We packed up my husband John and I packed up our belongings, our one little doggie that we had with us, BB, and we took a big truck and drove it out to Las Vegas and opened McKenna Models and Talent. We first advertised on America's Next Top Model. After that, we didn't have to advertise a word. People would come to us. So the rest is history. I mean, it's just been 12 years now that we've been out here. And McKenna Models and Talent is there, and actually, of course, my interest and love is my pageant world. So it kind of all keeps rolling as long as you keep a life pulse going. It's all part of it.
I love it, and it's all about contacts and networking.
It
and
is.
I love that, and what you're providing for the community. Because if you go to her website, which is let's see, what's your...
MrsNevadaAmerica.com.
Well, I was actually talking about the www.McKennaModelsAndTalent.com. If you go to that website, you see some great photos of young people and what's available for all ages. That's a great way to talk about it. Well, what I'd like to do now is let's break for our sponsors, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk more about the pageant world and how that all comes about. This is Carolyn Jacobs with the Jacobs Ladder Show, and we're welcoming you here Tuesday every noon until 2 p.m.
The Las Vegas Distillery is the first distillery in the history of Nevada. The Las Vegas Distillery spirits are handcrafted from grains to bottle. Vodka, rum, whiskey, bourbon, moonshines, and the house specialty, Rumski, a blend of our rum and whiskey. 93% of all ingredients come from Nevada's Winnemucca farms. Please come by and visit the Las Vegas Distillery's 2 custom-made Copper Angel stills. You are welcome anytime. Located at 7330 Eastgate Road, Suite 100, Henderson, Nevada 89011. Or call 702-629-7534. Or go visit www.lasvegasdistillery.com. Come by and taste our new Grandma's Apple Pie Moonshine. Think locally, drink locally. The Las Vegas Distillery. There's eating out and there's dining. Fine dining at the Barrymore. At the Barrymore, you dine on gourmet food in an elegant setting with outstanding service for a fraction of what you would expect. The Barrymore is located in the Royal Resort at 99 Convention Center Drive. You can experience the Barrymore Sunday through Thursday from 5:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. and on Friday and Saturday from 5:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, there's live entertainment at the Barrymore. For reservations, call 702-407-5303. And if you really want to take a look at this elegant restaurant before you arrive, go to www.barrymorelv.com. That's www.barrymorelv.com. Barrymore's. It's more than eating out. It's dining.
Welcome back. You are speaking with, this is Carolyn Jacobs with the Jacobs Ladder Show. We're here every Tuesday from noon until 2 p.m. and we interview people on their ladders of success, whether they're entrepreneurs or entertainers, celebrities, business owners, or charitable organizations. We want to hear your story and share it with the world. So, and that's why I love the fact that we have Jackie McKenna today, and she is going to be hosting, well, not hosting, but she is the state director for the pageant that will be occurring this Sunday at Samstown, and it is the Mrs. Nevada America pageant, and she has been the director there for a number of years, and it's going to be at Samstown at 7 p.m., so please check out and get your tickets, and you can go to the website, which is MrsNevadaAmerica.com, and you can actually check out all the candidates, and it's a fun time to come and check out. And these are your neighbors and your friends here in town. So come out and support them, and also support Jackie and this great event that's going to be there. And Stephen and I are going to be there because Jackie was very kind enough to let us be the validators. So we're not going to sit with the judges, but we'll be off stage a little bit. And you've got 5 great judges. So excuse me, let's talk about your judges.
All right. Well, every year we try to get people who are totally comfortable with giving their time. I mean, judges are not paid. They are people who come and give their time, but they have a handle on what is a well-rounded woman. And what they look for, of course, are all of the obvious things: beauty, inside and out, community involvement, poise, posture, and then collectively they will select that one lady out of 16. So the judges have a big job to do, but the ones we've selected are totally qualified.
And most of these are local celebrities.
Yes, I like them to be local because we are a community, but we are a local community.
Now, there's one of the ladies that I know, which is Tammy Grable, who just got married.
Yes, she did.
Actually got married at the Grammys.
She did. How exciting was that?
And she's the owner of the Las Vegas Women's Magazine. And so congratulations to Tammy on her marriage and everything else.
I know, it's so weird calling her Mrs. Grable now, but it's
Tammy Shaw.
Yeah, right.
And here it is. I got to get used to Tammy Grable here.
Right.
And you have TV star and fashion designer Joey Galan.
Joey Galan, and he knows pageants like the back of his hand. So he's been around. He is a designer. He does evening gowns. He had a TV show, 24-hour catwalk. He's been in the business for a long, long time, and just a sweetheart of a man, just a sweetheart.
And you have a PR marketing pro, Jennifer Bradley?
Jennifer Bradley has judged for us before. She's amazing. She knows what we're looking for. And we never say, we want a blonde, we want a redhead, we want a brunette, we want a particular height. She just kind of zooms in on what she feels would be the perfect spokesperson for our title.
And you're looking for quality.
Absolutely. And all of these women are quality. That's why it's going to be such a tough year. It really is.
Yeah, I saw the list. It is going to be hard. And then you have Jeanette Lee, who was Mrs. Utah America 2004.
Right. And she, of course, has her history and her experience. Plus, she's an educator, and she works within the school district and teaches English and is an advocate for deaf awareness, and she does sign. So she's just when you look at the judges, it's a beautiful picture. They're all well-rounded. Then, of course, we have Roby Tott. He and his wife, Ria, own Madame at Monsieur, a body sculpting company here in town. They have them in 5 countries. Oh. Their spa technology is just amazing. So they're all wonderful judges, qualified and looking for that well-rounded woman.
That is so exciting. Now, I noticed that out of your candidates, you've got 16 of these, and so do we want to talk about them individually, or we want to talk about them as a group, or?
I think what would happen is we may wind up speaking about one or two a little bit more than another, and to be fair, they're all great women who have something to bring, and, you know, I would want to talk to them as a group, you know.
Because I do know a few of them, and you're absolutely right. So let's be totally fair, and
Yeah.
let's talk about the other pageants as well. And let's talk about, I think this is so fascinating that you have the Nevada Princess and Prince pageant, which is the babies, girls, and boys up through 4 years.
4 years. And then the bigger girls, 5 to 17, are our 4 Nevada princesses. And they are the ones who mentor under our Mrs. America program, Mrs. Nevada America. And they not only ride in parades and have all of the fun things with the crown and the sash, but then they'll visit hospitals. And that's another thing that I want to bring up about the Mrs. Nevada America pageant. Each of these women are asked to bring a particular cause to the forefront. And it's everything, and we could probably go over each of their causes because they're all different and unique. But not only these ladies bring that platform to the forefront, and then the People's Choice voting brings money into the situation, and it's $1 per vote for the ladies, and then everything is divided between the actual charity of choice and then the high school collegiate pageant, the scholarship program. So it really does bring this the importance of supporting a cause, taking it away from yourself and putting the spotlight on your cause. And each of the ladies will have an opportunity to discuss that Sunday night or Saturday in the interviews as well.
Now, what are the aspects of the judging that you go by?
Well, it's overall, like I say, a 100% package of the lady who will best represent the married ladies of Nevada. It's not any particular age, height, ethnicity, size. It's about that one woman. So the judges are told basically to look at, of course, they have to be stunningly beautiful, and each of them are. They have to have communication skills, be able to communicate not only with the state of Nevada, but if they win, they go on to Mrs. America. So they have to be able to communicate their thoughts and feelings. Swimsuit is not about that perfect body. It's about that woman who walks with confidence and has kept herself in shape and cares about how she treats her body in forms of exercise and good eating habits, and then, of course, the elegance and grace of the evening gown competition. So looking at it, sort of like 25% for each of those 4 areas.
Now, for our listening audience, how long would the pageant run? So it starts at 7? Is that when
it starts at 7. The doors open at 6, so I always say try and get there early. The pageant starts at 7. We don't want people meandering in when the girls are concentrating on being wonderful in their opening number. And then it will run and be over by 9 o'clock. We'll have our new Mrs. Nevada America by 9 o'clock. We'll crown her.
Oh, my God. So there is an opening number, so everyone gets to see a musical.
Yes, I get very excited about it. And every year it's like, how are you going to top that? Well, I'll just wake up and have this idea, this vision. And then there are 2 people particularly that I will run it by, and then they take the ball and run with it. One is Debbie Freeman. She's our choreographer, and she's at Fernandare Dance Conservatory of the Arts. And Jillian Gardner of Show Off Costumes. And she helps in creating that vision. So wait, I don't even want to spoil it. I just want you to see it. The ladies have been in rehearsal for 5 weeks. It's going to be beautiful, and each lady is featured.
So you actually have to come up with this concept very early. So we're talking 6 months ago you had to...
Oh, no. Right after we crown this lady, I'll be on to 2:15. Yeah. It's a whole year. It's like putting on a big wedding. You can't start 6 months. You have to have the whole thing. There's so many elements of it, and so many people come to the center of it, and they help and they volunteer, and I can't thank them enough. Our ladies who have been our former title holders,
yes,
we need to talk about them. They are phenomenal women. This will be my 6th lady we'll be crowning as the state director. They have each given so much to the community. They don't just crown the new girl and then go home and sit. They continue their work. It's the whole process of going out in the community. It's like, this is good stuff. We're seeing it work. We're seeing it happen. Why wouldn't we continue it? Because they're giving from their heart. They're not doing it to, get kudos for, just getting the crown. They are out in the community doing wonderful things. All of the ladies. Amanda Correttis with her communities in school. Three Square Food Bank, and then Susie Monahan, Dr. Susie Monahan is our 2010. She actually started her own nonprofit called Project Teddy. Ooh. She named it after a friend of hers who had passed away from leukemia, Ted, and so Teddy... What do you think of with Teddy?
Teddy bear.
Bears, yes, of course. So she takes Build-A-Bears to the cancer centers and the children's hospitals of children who really need that little smile for the day. And she spends her time. Now all of our other ladies join in. So they're all giving back and helping with these children with Project Teddy. So it's just off and running on its own, and she's doing great things with that, and it's building and growing every day. Christy Jelinski was last year, and she worked with communities in schools and established Rock of Hope, where She had scholarships for kids, at-risk kids going and wanting to graduate from high school. She would offer them scholarship money. Ruth Gray is involved in the Special Olympics. These women amaze me. And they're like little flowers who blossom and grow and then continue on to create their own gardens. They just really are great.
I love that analogy, and they have so much energy because it really is all about giving back.
It is. It is. And anybody who thinks that pageants are superfluous or all about, just how, cute you are is, mistaken.
And that's what is so fascinating with this, because Stephen and I, like you, go out to a lot of different events, and you're networking and you meet people, and we meet a lot of different types of pageants. And the one image that always comes to mind is the fact that the Poise, they are such a great representative, not only for their pageant, but also for their charity.
Right.
And also just for Las Vegas, because we are a cosmopolitan town. We have visitors from around the world that are here every day, and it's just a great image for our town. And I love that, because I keep telling people, outside the Strip is a town called Las Vegas, where the rest of us work and live, and we love our town and want to promote it.
Right.
And it's not all about the gaming and going to clubs. It's about the real world, and which you are a major part of that, and I thank you for that.
Thank you. I love it. I enjoy it. But quite honestly, we're homebodies, and when we're not working, we're at home cooking and playing with our animals and entertaining the grandchildren and having fun as a family. We're not gamblers. We don't, hang out in clubs or anything like that. So, yes, we love our state, but there is more to it than the Strip.
Thank you. Thank you. At this point, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors. This is Carolyn Jacobs with the Jacobs Ladder Show. And again, we are here every Tuesday from noon until 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you.
Looking for great jazz? Look no further than the Dispensary, located at Tropicana and Eastern, Friday and Saturday nights, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. The bar and lounge is family-owned and operated for 37 years. A cozy hideaway has no windows, just a big red door, 24/7 gaming and delicious food. Owner Adele Bella says, we're retro, like an old-fashioned saloon complete with swinging doors. Entertainers from the Strip stop in after their performances to join Uli Geisendorfer's trio and great jazz singers. He hosts the jazz sessions every Friday and Saturday, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Rave reviews about their $5.95 steak burger, sandwiches, and appetizers are less than $10. Check it online at www.thedispensarylounge.com. Visit the Dispensary, 2451 East Tropicana near Eastern, and enjoy the feeling of old Las Vegas at its finest with jazz.
Raiding the Rock Vault, the ultimate classic rock concert by those who rock it, is back in Las Vegas in the famous showroom at the LVH Hotel and Casino. Raiding the Rock Vault is the story of classic rock, performed by the members of some of the greatest rock bands in rock history, with classic songs from the Rolling Stones, The Who, The Doors, The Eagles, Queen, AC/DC, Deep Purple, Journey, and more. Written by Grammy Award-winning producer David Kirschenbaum and producer John Payne. This all-star concert features guitarist Doug Aldrich, guitarist Howard Leese, lead vocals by Robin McCulley, Paul Shortino, and Andrew Freeman, drummer Jay Schilling, and keyboardist Michael T. Ross, with lead vocals and bass guitar by John Payne. This live concert experience starts at 8 p.m. Fridays through Tuesdays in the LVH Hotel Casino showroom. Get your tickets now at the LVH.com or call 800-222-5361 or visit the LVH box office. Remember to like Raiding the Rock Vault on Facebook. See you there. It's all rock and roll, baby.
Hello, this is Carolyn Jacobs. You are listening to the Jacobs Ladder Show. That's here every Tuesday from noon until 2 p.m. You can always go to our website, which is www.JacobsLadderShow.com. It has a little bio of Stephen and myself and a great photo we just took at Christmas, so we loved it. And if you scroll down towards the bottom of the page, you'll actually see the last 6 months' worth of interviews, and we interview 2 people every week. And you'll see such a plethora of talents that on our show. And then the previous 6 months, I'm actually going to be putting on YouTube, so people still will have access to those interviews as well. This segment of our show is sponsored to you by Barrymore Fine Dining, and they're located at 99 Convention Center Drive. You know, from the Convention Center to the Strip, there's that wonderful street, and they are located in the Royal Resort. It's a big white building. Barrymore is very fine dining that reminds me of the old style Las Vegas. And so you can always go by there for some really elegant dining, and it's basically strip tasting great food, but at half the cost of the Strip. So that's why it's a nice little, for the locals who love it.
Sounds good.
I'd like to share that information. So now I am talking to Mrs. Jackie McKenna, and she is a former pageant winner. She is the state director for the Mrs. Nevada America for at least the last 6 years. She is the founder and owner of McKenna Models and Talent Agency. You can actually go to that website, which is www.McKennaModelsAndTalent.com. And she also have a Jackie M Cosmetics, which we haven't really talked about, but I do want to remind everybody, Sunday, please come out to Soundstown, and we're going to have the Mrs. Nevada America pageant, and she's got 16 beautiful ladies that's going to be in the competition, and so she would like everyone to come out, buy a ticket, and come and join the fun. So, Jackie.
Absolutely. We'd love to have them. Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about your cosmetic.
Sure. Well, let me think. How many years ago? Okay, we've been doing this for 12 years. So I would say probably about 9 years ago, I had one of those light bulb moments where I don't think there's a woman out there who has everything from one particular line.
That's true.
So you gather things over the years, you try this, you try that, and then it just kind of came to me. Why don't I take the best of the best and leave the rest? So what I decided to do is start my own line. Now, I didn't go into my kitchen and start mixing, product up. You go to an actual manufacturer, and then you decide what you want in it, what you don't want in it. I, first of all, did not want anything that had anything to do with animal testing. Okay. I'm a huge, supporter of anything related to animals. So I decided that I would have things that are natural, soy-based, product that works, and work on myself. I'm like, the person that I need to please as far as selecting my makeup.
You're also the best billboard for it, too, because your skin is great looking.
Thank you. Thank you. I try to take care of myself. I really do. I have a birthday coming up in March, so really do try to take care of myself. But the product line is everything from foundation to skincare. Of course, the lipsticks and lip liners and eyeliners, you can get just about anywhere. But I really do like my soy-based cleanser and toner and night cream. It's very lightweight.
So how could someone find it? Do you have a website?
The website went down for a while, and then my husband, John, who's our webmaster, is bringing it back up with sort of new things on it. But you can get it through my modeling agency.
Oh, excellent.
Course.
So they can
Call
just go
me.
to
Sure.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, they can go to that. But again, shortly the website will be back up. Jackie M Cosmetics. Small J, big M.
I love that. I love that. That is so great. And remember, Sunday is going to be the pageant for the Mrs. Nevada America. Last minute word you'd like to share with our audience?
Just that I cannot tell you how proud I am of these ladies. They've been working very hard for well over a year in their own individual charities and working hard. It's going to break my heart when we only have to crown one. I'd like to crown everybody. It's not reality, and I hope that they are going to carry on the message and hopefully come back next year to compete, because we have to have a new winner next year.
And you've got 60 new friends, and with all the
lifelong. My ladies wind up, coming over for holidays, and they don't go away. We do say we are family, and they truly are.
I love it. Well, this is Carolyn Jacobs with the Jacobs Ladder Show. And like I said, we are here every Tuesday from noon until 2 p.m. And I really loved our interview, Jackie.
I did too. Thank you.
Later on, now, I know you've got more to share with us. Would you be willing to come back on our show again?
I would absolutely love it. I would.
This has been a lot of fun, Jackie. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Carolyn. I thank you.
And this is, again, Carolyn Jacobs with the Jacobs Ladder Show. And we'll be here for the next hour with Karen Jones, an international jazz singer, and also as next week. So take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Views and opinions expressed on this program were those of the hosts and guests and did not necessarily reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.